Hello, everybody. Welcome back to it again. Welcome back to the Chillmatic Show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We on our road for 100 subscribers. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. A little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But now, today, we getting into it. Let's talk about the game. Ohio State versus that team up north, aka Michigan. R.I.P. Woody Hayes. He came up with that phrase, the team up north. But, they good. But let's first get into a little history lesson. This goes back more than just the game. Ohio State, this is not Ohio State. Ohio and Michigan once went to war, the war for Toledo. And that went from 1835 to 1836. It lasted a year. Michigan didn't gain Toledo, obviously. Ohio has it. But they did become the 26th state of the Union. And then they gained the Upper Peninsula. And I think they said it was what we now know as the Upper Peninsula. And it was 9,000 square feet. So they got something from it. And let's just be honest. They got more from it than that. Because if you're from Ohio or you know anybody in Ohio, or especially Toledo is still pretty much Michigan. The way they talk, everything about them is Michigan. They remind you of Detroit Cats. And I've never met a person from Toledo that was not a Michigan fan. So let's just jump into that. Let that be that. Now, Michigan does lead the series still to date, even though they haven't won it in a minute, 58-1. And it's 6 ties. But nobody cares about the tie. Now, Ohio State has won 8 games in a row in this series. Like, they have. So it's been a minute. Michigan hasn't beat Ohio State since 2011. And I honestly think, and they got lucky with last year with it being canceled for COVID, because it would have been a beatdown of all beatdowns against Michigan last year. But let's not just put Michigan down. Like, them boys don't bring their A game, because them boys do their thing. Now, Michigan has won 11 championships in its history. Ohio State's 8. But the only thing about it, Michigan hasn't won a championship since 1997. That's the only championship they honestly won in the current era. They went 12-0 that year. They was undefeated. Look at them. Do your thing. I see you, team up north. I see you. And Ohio State's only won 8, but the only thing is Ohio State's been in the championship more recent, and Ohio State has won more championship in the recent era. You have seen them get to play in the recent era more often. But that's the thing. That's just, what you see. Like, it's more people, okay, the last time they won a championship was 24 years ago. It's people grown, people that can drink and everything, go to bars, that were just being born last time Michigan won a championship. But I do think this year is a good year. Michigan does stand a good shot against Ohio State beating them, because it's at Michigan in the big house, that huge stadium, and the crowd always shows up. They ain't no lackadaisical crowd. Now, the only thing, one complaint, the Ohio State Michigan game, can we get a night game? Can we please just get a night game? I want to see Ohio State versus Michigan game start at 7:30. I know it'll be cold, but this is the Midwest. We play football out in the cold. This is what we do. I want to see I know Michigan just put lights in their stadium like 5 years ago or something like that. So they haven't really had that many night games. When you think about it, when have you really seen Michigan play at night? Yeah, because they just put the lights in there years ago. So in the 2000s, since 2000, Ohio State has 17 wins against Michigan. Michigan has 3. So Michigan, I feel like a lot of times they're just, honestly, what a really big thing was that Ohio State, I feel like, start going down south and getting talent. Because if you even look, I looked this up, if you look at the recruits in the best Ohio State versus Michigan games I've ever seen in 2006, when Ohio State was ranked 1 and Michigan was ranked 2, look at all the recruits. Michigan's recruits were from Michigan. Ohio State's recruits were from Ohio. You feel me? But then Tressel started getting them players from down south. Then Urban Myers started getting them players, definitely from down south with him being the old Florida Gators coach. And then when Urban Meyer came, like I said, when Urban Meyer came, we got that. And then now Ryan Day, he getting a lot of players from California, stuff like that. So you just see the recruiting things change because you remember back in the day, everybody just pretty much just wanted to recruit in state and the surrounding states. And every now and then you see a player leave from Ohio, go to Michigan, and vice versa. So, and in the 80s, it was, nobody's going to jump to the 80s. Ohio State won five games. Michigan won 5 games in the 80s. And then also as well, I thought Ohio State got their butt whooped in the 90s. Cause I feel like as a kid when I watched it, it always was Ohio State losing. But I guess I was just bad luck because Ohio State beat Michigan 5 times and vice versa. They went 5-5. They tied once again. So like that was something I was doing my research that I don't know how I didn't realize that. And I've been watching Ohio State versus Michigan since I was a kid. Now, disclaimer, I was a Penn State fan first when I was a kid. But I was a kid. I was in elementary school. I like Joe Paterno. I just like the mystique about him or whatever. Like, he just remind me, I like that old man, like football, like, like we don't play, like, look he had. And for some reason, I just like Penn State's plainness of their jerseys. But thank God for my stepdad in this situation. Ohio State lost to Penn State. He was mad. I was making jokes. So he told me, ain't no such thing in my house. Ain't no such thing as a Penn State fan in my house. Either you're a Ohio State fan or you don't like nobody. And I like that. Cool. Power out, shouts out to him. That's what's up. I like that. Now let's get into the 2006 game. Like the 2006 game to me was I rank that the second best football game, college football game I have ever seen. Now, I think the best football game I've ever seen was the Iron Bowl 2019. That was the best football game I've ever seen. I know everybody want to still talk about when the Texas Longhorns played against USC in the national championship, and we had Vince Young and Reggie Bush and all of them, Lindell White. Everybody said that's the best game. But personally, I didn't see that game. I only seen the highlights because I had school in the morning and I went to sleep. So I wasn't really staying up. About 9 o'clock, 10, I was knocked out. But that 2006 game was one to remember. 1 versus 2. It was great. It started later in the day, so it got to be a night. Half of the game is at night. They had Chad Henne. They had I don't remember, they had a lot of players. They had Troy Smith for Ohio State. They had Tony Gonzalez, they had Ted Ginn, and I can't really remember who did Michigan really have. They had Hart at running back. They had Mario Manningham at wide receiver. He was a beast. Then now had that one dude that I feel like they had forever at tight end. Butts, I think, was there. And that offensive lineman, Long, they was always talking about him. But that was a heck of a game. That was like one game to remember. Like, that game was, like, as a kid, that was what honestly made me even more of a Ohio State fan. It was because of that game. And when I seen like old Woody Hayes documentaries, and this is serious. In that game, by the way, if you didn't see it, Ohio State, them Buckeyes won 42-31. But they later on, they played for the national championship and get throttled, smashed, beat like they stole something. Mike Tyson, straight hands. It was terrible. It was a terrible game. That hurt my feelings. But if you don't live in Ohio, I don't think you understand. This rivalry is a serious rivalry. They asked Woody Hayes why he was going for 2, because he said when he was up against the team up north, that's as he called it. That came from Woody Hayes saying that, and he said because I can't go for 3. If that don't let you know how serious that rivalry was. I remember, I started watching Michigan in the days of Lloyd Carr and stuff like that or whatever. He was a good coach. He was just he seemed very quiet guy. He'd be kind of getting up in arms when they would be losing to us and stuff like that. But just living in Ohio, I'm getting sidetracked. It's a serious thing. If you live in Ohio, especially Columbus, Ohio, while I'm a resident where Ohio State is located at, they have a clock on all the networks, local networks, is counting down to the game. And I cannot wait. This is Thanksgiving, then that last Saturday of the year. You got Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Ohio State football versus that team up north. Now, I am nervous. I do feel like the Michigan is going to bring it this year. I don't feel like it's going to be a blowout. I feel like they're going to bring it, and I don't feel like they're going to let us throw. They're not going to let Ohio State throw all over them. I feel like Michigan is going to be Michigan. Michigan's going to try to put down that run game, that run. Because everybody knows that's what Michigan wants to do. And Michigan can't get away from that. They have to keep the game close and stay with that because that's who they are. They're a running team. They're just an old-style team, and I still appreciate it. Sometimes the spread, I love the spread. We love points. But sometimes I want to see that old-fashioned smack in your face, that old Penn State, that old Michigan type stuff. Who else? Like teams that are really run about. When I first started watching Ohio State, just run the ball. Old Nebraska, when they run the wishbone. When I remember seeing them, I hated them. I thought they were just boring to watch sometimes. Their uniforms just bored me. I don't know, something about it was boring. But I liked the way that they did run the ball. And I did play running back as a kid. So that was the pointers I would watch. But this game is serious. This game is it's in there. It's serious. Michigan will be ranked 5. Ohio State will be ranked 2. And with it's for everything because I feel like whoever come out the Big Ten East is gonna smash. We know Wisconsin gonna come out there and make sure Wisconsin's gonna get throttled. But that's my little rant, my little Ohio State first that team up north because we don't say that X out all them M's going down. But everybody have a good day. Hey, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday's the game. Let's go. But everybody have a good day and peace out.